We do apologize for the sound if it gets a bit noisy, but let me introduce my guests. We brought together, invited a number of guests here to explore the issue of drugs and youth and I guess break it down, so to speak, and really expose the realities of drug addiction here in South Africa. Let me run through my guests very quickly. Zama Kanyase is a youth leader. She joins us. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Zibazonke Mkize is an anti-substance abuse activist. Thank you as well for joining us. Snako Mazibuka, an 18-year-old. It's going to be very interesting to hear your story. You are a recovering addict, and thank you very much indeed for your time to bring your story, I guess, to the people of South Africa. On my left-hand side, Nana Komalo is a grade 9 learner, and Dr. Lochan Naidu is our addiction expert for today. He's also the head of the Julo Rehabilitation Program. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Zama, let me just start with you. It is indeed a very important day, Youth Day, important topic to have, I guess, youth and drugs. You work with the youth. It's obviously not confined to a specific area in terms of drug abuse. We have drug abuse in townships, in suburbs, in rural areas. From the ground, what do you pick up? How dire is the situation?
Well, indeed, we must say that it is a challenge that is everywhere, but mostly affects schools, because remember that schools exist in communities. So whatever is happening in a community is bound to also affect the school. So in all the schools across the country, we are currently dealing with the situation. We have two famous drugs. In KZN, it's known as Wunga. In places such as Gauteng, it's known as Nyaupe. The situation is very bad. It is part of one of the biggest reasons why you find a lot of dropouts. Some of the bullying that continues in schools is fueled by it. Many of these issues, it affects the performance of the learners at school. It has caused a lot of havoc, because most of the time the children who are actually taking the drugs go on to even affect lessons in class. So the situation is very bad. Intervention is needed. We are happy that some of the departments have already come forward to also have the role that they are playing. The Department of Social Development has made a declaration on drugs. Even this week, on Sunday, there's going to be a program focused on drugs, where they are going to be celebrating the National Anti-Substance Day in Wentworth here in Durban. So at least there are programs that have come out, but we are saying that they need to have programs that are ongoing. One-day events are not helping us, and we need them to be based in schools. So smart clubs are very important. Working with all organizations that exist in schools together with the RCL is going to help us, so that there is continuous check-up on how far the problem is and how far is the intervention happening.
Government is, trying to put paid to substance abuse. Drug abuse programs are in part of the curriculum, in schools curriculum, part of the life orientation learning area. Zibo, you work with the community very closely.
Yes.
What is the consequence of drug abuse? What are you looking at? What are you finding?
Crime is very high in community, in schools, in families. It just affects. It just accelerates just accelerates crime. And all I can say is, as Zama is mentioning, the youth is just using drugs, and they can use anything as a drug, like the cough mixture now. They just use cough mixture, mix it with fizzy drinks, and they just use it as a drug. But the parents now, I feel as if there is a gap between the community, parents, and everybody that should be taking care of and support of that youth. They don't know. There's a huge gap between them. They don't know the drugs. So, like she mentioned, Nyawope, most of the communities or the parents, they don't know Nyawope. They haven't seen it. They don't even know the packaging. So I feel as if the crime is accelerating, and some of the community members are contributing to that by buying stolen goods from those people who are addicts.
And you, Zibo, who worked very closely with my next guest, Snako Mazibuko.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed for coming on air, and you very courageously want to tell your story. You are a recovering addict.
Yes.
Take us back, Snako. Where did it all start? You're 18 years old now. What were you addicted to, and how did it all start?
Well, it all started when I was 13, when we were a bunch of group of friends. Then we started with smoking dagga. Most of the youth of today start to smoke because of friends, when you want to fit in such groups, or you want to look cool. Then after that, when you smoke, then your parents or your family don't like you. You know, they don't trust you when they give you money, you know. So like I started to come close to Mam Zippo, then he started to help me at cutting. Then Mam Zippo was using, there's a truck like it says truck he using. Then that truck is for urinary test. Yeah, then he uses it to test to us. Then we see, oh, Mam Zippo is using this truck to test us for Itacha. Then we started shifting the truck using S6, which known in township is O or it's Umkwenyo. Yeah, then we started using. Then Mam Zippo didn't use now this one truck. He uses 5-in-1. Then he picked it up. Oh, now they shifted to that Umkwenyo thing. Yeah. So,
but when was the point where you realized saying, hey, I need to stop? When was that point?
It was when I see all my family now, no one like me. It's all my friends only now who loves me and who talk to me. All my parents and my family now, every time we have a quarrel with them. Yeah.
Okay. Snako, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. Nano Butelezi, you're a grade 9 learner. How difficult is it to say no to drugs?
It's difficult, but then if you're a youth person who knows what they want to do in life, they can easily get to the points to know what they want for the future. They can easily maybe like talk to people, because in our school we have learner support agents who we can speak to, so it's quite easy.
Doctor, just very briefly, very briefly, from start to addiction, how quick is that?
Well, it's different with different drugs. For example, Wunga, which is basically heroin-based, and is very rapidly dependency producing. Cocaine is different. It's all dependent on how fast drugs release dopamine in the brain.
Okay.
And people graduate, and they really, each person needs a certain amount.
Doc, just stand by. We're fighting time here. But look, there's still lots more to come. I understand time is not on our side, but stay tuned to Channel 404 for more on youth-related issues from here, KwaMashu. But now let me throw it back to Johannesburg.